All right, let's talk about money, but probably not in the way that you're used to. We're going to dive into a totally different way of thinking about wealth, one that has absolutely nothing to do with earning more and everything to do with wanting less. So let's jump right in.
We've all asked ourselves this, right? You're staring at a budget or planning for the future, and this question just hangs in the air. How much is actually enough? It's a question that's just dripping with anxiety, this endless, stressful calculation of what it's going to take to finally feel okay, to feel secure. But here's a thought. What if that very question is the problem? What if asking, how much is enough, is a trap that's pretty much designed to make sure we never feel like we have enough? Well, the key to unlocking this might just lie in a really incredible story. Okay, so I want you to meet someone. His name is Lung Sawari. He lives in a small town in Thailand, and his life, well, it pretty much flips everything we think we know about wealth completely on its head. By his own standards, he's one of the richest, freest people you could ever meet.
See, Lung Sari's world is just a world apart from ours. For him, the currency isn't money, it's his own two hands and the goodwill he builds. He pitches in at community events, he helps his neighbors, and the community, they've got his back. They make sure he has food and shelter. His assets aren't sitting in a bank account, they're the relationships and the love he shares with people. His goal isn't to pile up more stuff, it's just to be free every single day.
And this one quote from him just says it all. He told an interviewer, "You have to pay to eat. I don't have to spend a single baht." And by the way, a baht is just the local currency in Thailand. Think about that. He genuinely believes he's richer because he's not chained to money for the basics. He's discovered a completely different kind of wealth, one that's built on community, not cash.
Now, hearing Lung Sari's story is amazing, right? But I know what you're thinking. That sounds great, but it's totally impossible for me. And you know what? There's a really good reason you feel that way. We are literally surrounded by these powerful, invisible systems that are engineered to make us feel like we always need more. Let's pull back the curtain on them.
It's like this perfectly engineered machine with four big parts all working together. First, you've got marketing, which is a master at creating anxieties we didn't even know we had. Is my skin good enough? Is my car cool enough? Then consumerism swoops in and tells us that buying things will give us meaning. A luxury car isn't just a way to get from A to B. It's a symbol of success. All the while, the media is feeding us a constant diet of anxiety-fueling headlines to keep us feeling insecure. And finally, the economy itself, with its huge gap between the rich and poor, forces us into survival mode, where money feels like the only way to get better opportunities, better healthcare, you name it. It's a perfect storm that just keeps us running on that hamster wheel of earning more just to spend more.
So how in the world do we get off this treadmill? Well, here's the thing. The way out isn't to just run faster and try to win a game that's rigged against us. The real answer is to stop and ask a completely different question. So instead of, how can I get more money, what if we flipped it and asked, what would it take for me to want less money? This is a game changer. It puts the power right back in our hands. And look, this isn't about punishing yourself or living with nothing. It's about freedom. It's about freeing yourself from that constant, nagging pressure to always be acquiring something new.
And the way to answer that question, it all starts with what we choose to value. From day one, we're basically trained to value money over our time, to see the world through a lens of scarcity instead of abundance, and to prioritize our individual grind over the strength of our community. But what if? What if we just decided to flip that script? What if we started putting our free time first, noticing the abundance that's already around us, and investing in our relationships?
Okay, let's bring this down to earth with a real example. Imagine you're choosing between a car that costs 800,000 baht and a fancier one that costs 2 million. The difference is 1.2 million baht. But that's not just a number on a sticker. Think about what that really is. How many hours of your actual life did you have to trade for that? How many months? Maybe even years? Suddenly, when you start seeing money as your life energy, your choices look completely different, don't they?
And this is where we get to a whole new definition of what it means to be wealthy, because it's got nothing to do with the number of zeros in your bank account. True wealth, real financial freedom, it's an inside job. It's a state of mind.
You know, we hear financial freedom, and we immediately think passive income, right? But that's only half the story. Real financial freedom is the absence of fear. It's when you're free from that gnawing fear of not enough. It's when you're free from worrying about what other people think, from needing their judgment or approval. It's when you accept yourself so deeply that you just don't need your stuff to validate you anymore. Okay, so how do we actually do this? How do we get there? It really starts with these 5 ideas. First up, know yourself better than you try to impress other people. Second, start seeing the intrinsic worth in things, the real value, not just the price tag. Third, and this is a big one, practice appreciating what you already have instead of always chasing what you don't. Fourth, spend more time cultivating your inner self, your spirit, than you do curating your material possessions. And last, but maybe most importantly, focus on building a real supportive community, because that's a safety net that no amount of money can buy.
So, at the end of the day, true wealth isn't about what you can pile up. It's about what you can let go of. It's that feeling of deep contentment when you look around and realize, you know what? I have everything I truly need right here, right now. So I'll leave you with this. The question isn't, what else do I need to get? The real question is, what am I ready to let go of to finally be free?